Yoakum, you and the defendant had a relationship which is no longer, and it is your claim that Mr. Montgomery owes you for half a trip that you took together to California. And in addition, there is still a remaining balance that he owes you on some bail money that you wired for him, which allowed his get-out-of-jail almost free card. Mr. Montgomery says that the trip to California that you took was a gift, and that while he does acknowledge that you posted bail for him at one point, he says he's paid you the entire $500 back. Is that right, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So, tell me about this trip to California. When did you take it, and what were the circumstances?
Your Honor, Mr. Montgomery in August had offered to take me on vacation for my birthday, which is September 9th. Offered to pay for it with the check for vacation that he had been anticipated on receiving.
I don't know. Ms. Yoakum, listen to me. There are certain things that ring true.
Right.
Boyfriends say, I want to take you on a vacation. Let's go on a vacation.
Right.
Great. Where do you want to go? I want to go to?
California.
California. Boyfriend doesn't say, I'm going to pay for it with a check that I'm going to get from my job when I left and my... You don't discuss.
At that point in time, I was not able to afford to go. And
so let's go back a little bit. It's August, and you discuss going on a vacation.
Yes.
Tell me where you were when you first started to discuss going on the vacation.
We were at my home discussing going on vacation for my birthday. He had told me that he was going to pay for the entire trip from a vacation check from his former employer.
Tell me how he said that to you.
I said, you know, I can't afford to go on this trip right now.
So he didn't say to you, I want to take you on a trip for your birthday.
Yes, he did.
Shh. Ms. Yoakum, listen to me carefully. If he said, I want to take you on a trip for your birthday, then you wouldn't have had any discussion with him about, I can't pay for it now. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Don't fudge the truth. The truth may be all that you need. But when I ask you what was said, you're going to tell me exactly what was said. Because if he said to you, I'm taking you away for your birthday, your response would not have been, I can't afford to go now. Because that wouldn't have been a logical response. Logical response would have been, oh, great. Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
Right.
Okay, now let's go. Let me hear your version.
What happened is she wanted to go away for a weekend. It was Labor Day weekend, and I had a long weekend off at work. Now, since I had a long weekend off at work, she said, let's go get away, and we were trying to decide where to go. I said, well, I don't have any money on me. I didn't have much money. I just started work at a job closer to her home. And I did get a check right before I went. I said, well, I have a check before I go. All I'll have is spending money. She said, don't worry about it. I'll purchase the tickets. I'll get the hotel wherever we're going to stay and take what money you have and use that for spending money, which I did.
And you went away Labor Day weekend?
Yes.
Yes, I have the receipts for the amounts charged on my credit card.
Let me see. What's Tiffany and Company?
Jewelry store.
I know what it is. What'd you buy there?
I bought a necklace.
For who?
Me.
Well, why is that here?
I just highlighted everything because he had told me he was taking me and he would pay for everything.
No, dear. You don't get it. The only thing I don't see here really is restaurants. Only one restaurant.
We took a large sum of money. I withdrew over $500. He had the $400 from his check, and then an additional $200 that I withdrew from my ATM.
Okay, just a minute. So he had $400 that he took with him?
Yes.
That he spent?
And I also have money that I took. I didn't feel that he should pay for, you know, if I wanted any, like, souvenirs.
Necklaces. Shh. Okay. Mr. Montgomery, when you came back from this vacation, were you working, sir?
Yes.
What kind of job were you working at?
I was at a car dealership.
So why didn't you start paying her for at least part of this trip, your airline tickets and the rental car?
Every paycheck I got, I gave her $300 here, $400 there. I gave her plenty of money.
Were you living together?
Yes, we were.
How long did you live together?
5 months.
Is that right?
5 months.
August 5th. I do have a record of every time.
Just tell me how long you lived together.
August 5th.
To when?
Or, I'm sorry, about August 5th to December 5th.
Okay. And he would give you money every month? Or every week from his paycheck?
He gave me a little bit here and there. I have wrote down every amount that he's ever given me.
Let me see it. Bert.
And I gave it to him when...
Let me see it. What, I missed something. I missed something.
Oh, yes.
What did I miss? What did he say? A couple of months, 3? But like, what did he do? Well, no, I really want to know.
Okay.
It was 5, but I only have, I forgot. I only got 4 fingers on his hand.
His right hand.
So.
And then he switched up, and it was...
I know I missed something.
It was a moment.
All right, let's get to the bail. Oh. Why were you arrested, sir?
From a previous relationship, a crazy ex-girlfriend. Going through some problems. It had nothing pertaining to do with us.
So you were arrested on an assault charge or domestic violence?
It was a home invasion charge.
I have that right here if you'd like.
When we got back from
Can I
California,
take a look at it?
she went and bought a wedding dress. She wanted to get married that soon. She went and purchased a wedding dress.
Mr. Montgomery, I'm talking about your arrest. You're talking to me about
Okay.
wedding veils. Do
Yes.
these two things have anything to do with each other?
No.
Good. And if you thought that you were going to get me off track just because of my age, you are not going to be successful, sir. What was the date that you posted this bond?
The date of the bond was, it was 2 days, 3 days before Thanksgiving, right before Thanksgiving, like a week
November,
before
sir,
maybe.
and you separated...
It was in November, yes.
November. You separated shortly thereafter in December.
Yes, I was at work, and she came to my work at 8 o'clock at night in the freezing cold.
Whatever.
Below zero, with all my belongings.
With her
said,
wedding
"Here,
dress.
Go
Yeah.
out.
Okay. How much did he pay you back?
He paid me $220.
Okay. So far, I am satisfied that he owes you $280 for the bond. I'm not so sure about the trip.
He actually asked...
I would like you to tell me why it was that after 5 months living together, you chose to evict him in the fashion that you did.
We had a lot of arguments, and frankly, he scared me. His ex-girlfriend had brought him in on domestic violence charges.
And you thought this was the safest way of dealing with it?
I thought it was the safest way. I had my friend with me. I wasn't
So
sure
you were
what he
afraid
would
of
do.
him?
I was afraid. He
were-
made 2 death threats to me.
You were afraid of him?
Yes.
Well, then my question is, and I know that this will sound a little naive to you, if you were afraid of him, why did you subsequently decide to have any contact with him?
He told me he would pay me back before Christmas so that I would have money.
Do you understand what I'm saying to you? If you're really afraid of somebody and you fear for your life, why would you sue somebody for a couple of bucks if you got them out of your life and they were gone? So that you would have contact with them again, even if it's only briefly.
Your Honor, because I have PPO papers prepared and ready to go as soon as I get home.
What's PPO?
Personal protection order.
Why would you bother with that, though? My question is, why would you bother?
Because I've been in contact with his ex-girlfriend. I know what he's like. I know
Just a minute. What contact have you had with him since he left in December?
I haven't spoken to him.
So he hasn't... Shh. You haven't spoken to him? He hasn't called you?
He kept calling me until the 20th of December.
So several months went by and it's no contact. So why do you have an application ready for a protective order?
Because I'm being called as a witness in his felony trial.
Being called in his felony trial by his ex-girlfriend as a witness?
Yes.
So you got together with the ex-girlfriend?
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And later today, Cindy Yoakum says ex-boyfriend Andrew Montgomery owes for bail money and for a trip to California. Andrew says it was her idea to take the trip.
It sounds to me as if you want nothing more to do with him and wanted to sever all ties and just get on with your life, you've certainly complicated it, and that was your own doing.
Yes, I realize that.
Good. So it was very foolish. He owes you $280 for the bail. The trip, hope you enjoyed it. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
He's got a history of using women. I thought she might help me out.
She went and bought a wedding dress. Right after we got back from California, wanted to get married. I wasn't ready to get married, and I didn't want to get married to her.
Let me see, he's asked me to marry him, he's asked his ex-girlfriend to marry him, and the one before that. He basically takes whoever's got the most money and uses them for whatever he can get.
She contacted me after she booted me out, after she kicked me out, left me in the cold. She called me, had me come up and visit her 3 different times.
He's got home invasion charges. Why am I the person that is the the bad person in this case.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of DeCuckoo versus Carr. Step forward, please.
19-year-old spa attendant Teresa DeCuckoo is suing her ex-roommate, 20-year-old spa attendant Carol Carr, for breaking a lease. Carol says she gave proper notice.
According to your complaint, Mr. Cuckoo, you and the defendant leased an apartment together. You've been friends for a long time. You thought it would work out. After a couple of months, the defendant moved out.
That's correct, Your Honor.
And you want her to be responsible for her half of the rent for the remainder of the lease so that it doesn't destroy your credit.
That's correct.
Defendant said she thought she was being more than fair. She had to move out. And she says you should get another roommate. When did you sign this lease?
July 14th, 2002.
What was the rent?
The rent was $925. $512.50 was her responsibility.
Are you still there?
No, I'm not.
You're not?
No,
What
I'm not.
happened?
I moved back in with my mother
When?
at the end of October.
Did they re-rent the apartment?
I am not sure, Your Honor.
Well, have you gotten any notifications from the landlord with regard to rent that the landlord
Yes,
claims
I
you
do.
owe? Let me see.
This is my 30-day notice to vacate the apartment.
I'm talking about after you left.
After I left,
Because according to the defendant paid the rent, gave you a check for rent for September. She moved out September 1st, but she gave you her share of September's rent. Is that correct?
Yes, that
And you
is.
don't dispute that, is that right?
no, I don't.
Okay. And you moved out the end of October. So
Yes.
we have October's rent,
Right.
right? Which, based upon what you tell me, is $512.50 would be her share of October's rent up until the time you moved out, and you're suing her for $2,800.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay, so you're going to have to explain that to me.
Yes. Right. These are the payments I made, and because it's for the lease break and everything. That's right when I moved out. That was the payment agreement from the landlord.
The fees that she was charged to break the lease were $1,836, Ms. Carr.
Yes.
Half of $1,836 is $918. I want you to explain to me why you should not be responsible for $918.
Okay, I gave my 30 days notice like required in the lease contract.
Your
If I
Honor,
needed
that
to
isn't
move
true.
out.
I don't want to hear you unless I come back and look at you. Do you understand?
Yes.
So
No. Pay careful attention to me. You show me your lease, which says that if you give them 30 days notice, you're allowed to break your lease with no consequence
It
by
doesn't
giving them 30 days notice.
I have where it says the 30 days notice section right here.
What does it say? Read it.
Full term unless owner consents in writing, residence agrees not to move out of the apartment prior to the end of the lease term or renewal of the extension period without the rentals of the entire lease term or renewal or extension period being
Ms. Carr,
paid in
you know what
full.
that means? It means that if the owner agrees, the owner, did the owner agree that you move out?
I gave them my written notice. They didn't argue with me.
Ms. Carr, you don't get it. A lease means that if you pay your rent and are a good tenant, the landlord can't throw you out for 12 months. And it means that you are responsible for the rent for 12 months. Just if you decide in the middle of the lease that you don't want to live there anymore, you just can't give them 30 days notice and move out.
Well, I had a bad car accident
That's
at
not
the
her
beginning
problem.
of the month, and that's why.
That's not her problem. That's your problem. You have to be a grown-up. Your first responsibility was you signed a lease with somebody else. Somebody else that could not afford the apartment by themselves. So if it's a toss-up between you putting money towards a new car and moving back with your parents so that you can pay for the car and living up to your pre-existing responsibility, you have to live up to your pre-existing responsibility. That's a grown-up. You do, however, have to accept your part of the responsibility, which is you had a roommate. It didn't work out. She moved out for whatever reason. You couldn't live there by yourself. It's a very good lesson. You don't take an apartment with a roommate for more rent than you can pay by yourself, the whole thing. Because otherwise you have to move out and you have these fees. She's not going to pay the whole fee, only half. Do you understand?
I actually have other expenses that has incurred while she was there.
Like what?
I have a copy of a couple utility bills that she refused to pay for.
Can I say a comment about that? Actually, I paid half of the cable and the power. She never gave me a copy of the phone bill, claimed I could get it at sprint.com, but without any account number, I can't access it.
Is this a phone bill?
It's a phone bill and a power bill, Your Honor.
Is this 10346?
Yes, Your Honor.
Well, is that for September?
That's for 3 months total.
Up through September 25th?
Yes.
Sprint bill, power bill was $38.75, and that was date to next meter reading October 16th, so that was through September. No. It's not responsible for the power bill. $969. Ladies, it's too bad your friendship is over.
Your Honor, I have one more thing.
Which is?
I did try to contact her,
Which
and
is
she
what?
refused to sign. She refused
Well, she was
contact.
harassed.
Just a minute. What do you want?
She was harassing me.
I
so.
didn't. I'm not looking at you. So?
She had refused a letter I sent to her house.
So what?
Saying her statements.
So what? What does that have to do with what I'm talking about now?
Nothing.
Good.
But, excuse me, I also have one more thing.
What?
My moving costs that I had to vacate the apartment with.
That's your problem. Your moving costs are your problem. Sometimes when you take a roommate and things don't work out, you have to move. You think that she's going to pay your moving expenses?
At least half.
Get a roommate. I said you don't have to. You shouldn't be forced to get a roommate if you don't want to, but because you chose not to get another roommate or try to get another roommate and chose to move out, you incurred certain expenses. She's responsible for half of your break lease expenses because she did, in fact, break the lease. So did you. $969 is what she owes you. That's all. Step out.
Parties are excused. This is case number 375 on the calendar in the matter of Barnello versus Dunn. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat.
Don't aggravate me. I have a bad throat today. Mr. Barnello.
Yes.
It's your claim that the defendant kicked your truck in a parking lot of a bar. He was a little drunk. Mr. Dunn says that he was, in fact, drunk, right?
Yes.
And he may have hit you, but he didn't kick your car. So let me hear it from the top. Date, time, place.
September 20th at 1 a.m., myself and my friends were leaving the club. Jerry started elbowing one of my friends as we were leaving, and they had exchanged words. It escalated to the parking lot where they exchanged more words, and the police department broke it up.
So the police were there.
The police were there in the parking lot, yes.
Had you known him before?
No, I've never met him or seen him before.
Go ahead.
And we were leaving. I was leaving in my truck by myself. My friends were walking along my truck. They were pretty angry at the time.
What do you mean they were walking along your truck?
They wouldn't get in my vehicle because they were pretty fumed because they had gotten to words with Jerry in the parking lot.
And they're walking alongside of your truck?
One of my friends was walking along the side of my truck.
Go ahead.
And I actually was parked two cars away from Jerry's vehicle and his friend, Chris, which was also the one that kicked my truck in. And we were pulling away, and I was trying to get my friend in the vehicle, and he was pretty heated. He was going to walk home, and I had the windows down. I heard them exchanging words out of their vehicle to my friend that was walking. And Jerry proceeded to get out of his truck with his friend Chris, and I got out of my vehicle to get my friend to get leave, get in my truck, let's leave, We've already been warned once by the police. My friend wouldn't get in my vehicle with me, so I got back in my truck. As soon as I got back in my truck, Chris and Jerry Dunn ran up to my truck and started kicking my truck in as I was sitting in the driver's seat staring at him.
Where did he kick your truck?
He kicked my truck in the door and the extended cab of the truck. I have pictures.
Can I see the pictures, please? All right, Jer. Let's hear from you.
Well, we got to the nightclub approximately 10 o'clock that evening.
So you've been drinking for 3 hours?
Approximately, yes. We were leaving the nightclub, me and a friend of mine and our two girlfriends, and another friend of ours that was walking with us to our cars had a confrontation, I guess, with one of his friends. It wasn't me, okay? And after they had had words, the cops had basically came over and said, you know, you guys stop it or whatever, because it was just words. No one had physically done anything yet. At that time, we get in our cars. I get in the back seat. We're leaving the club. We're still in the parking lot. We haven't left yet. And as we're pulling out of the parking lot, this gentleman basically cuts us off in his truck. He's leaving the parking lot and pulls right in front of our car, saying stuff to us outside of his window, still sitting inside of his truck.
He is?
Yes. His friends, like he said, were all outside. There was a bunch, I mean, the whole club was leaving at this time. So there was tons of people in the parking lot. And I guess it was, I don't know how many of his friends, 4 or 5 guys or so, were outside the truck. At that time, the driver of the vehicle that I was in steps out of the vehicle and approaches his truck. As they are saying words to each other, I get out of the truck myself, and I'm coming around the truck, and there's tons of people at that time around both of our cars. And everyone's yelling, screaming, saying stuff to each other. At that point, everyone starts fighting. I don't know if it was him or one of his friends that I had actually gotten a physical confrontation with, but we ended up getting arrested that night. Me and the driver of the vehicle that I was in.
What were you arrested for?
Well, initially we were being arrested, and the cop says he's pressing charges on you guys for, you know, hitting him or whatever, hitting his friend, and
You can't press charges for hitting his friend.
No, that's not correct.
So anyways, this is what the cop says to me.
What were you arrested for, sir?
Well, right here, he tells me it was drunk in public.
What happened with that case?
I went to jail that night, and they gave me this piece of paper, and it was basically a failure to appear for another traffic stop that I had had. They never actually arrested me for drunk in public either, or vandalizing his car or anything.
They gave you a desk appearance ticket. You were supposed to appear there on the 13th of November. What happened?
I went and appeared, and all I had to do was pay for a traffic violation that I had.
You have a police report.
I do not have a police report because I did not press charges for vandalism. And for one reason only, that the night they both agreed in front of the officers to pay me for the damages to my vehicle. And they offered me $1,000 cash if I was to come to their house that night. And the officers said there will be no money exchanged in our presence, that this matter will have to be taken somewhere else. And so I asked the officer for any type of information of showing of the incident, and he said he could not give me anything because I didn't press charges. And the reason why I didn't press charges is because they agreed to pay me when they were in the back of the car.
Who's they?
Jerry and Chris.
Did Chris pay you?
Chris has paid me his half of the...
When did Chris pay you?
I believe about 3 weeks ago.
How much did he pay you?
He paid me $2,300.
You the girlfriend? Step up. Tell me your name.
My name's Katie.
Katie what?
Katie Rainier.
You were there that night?
Yes, I was.
Were you drunk or sober?
I was sober.
I just want you to think about the moment. This is your boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
He's in the back of a police car. Do you remember that?
Yes.
How many people were in the back of the police car?
2. Him and
Who?
Chris.
Who?
Jerry and Chris.
Anybody else taken into custody that night?
No.
Now, during the time that they were in the back of the police car, Katie, did you see the plaintiff?
Yes.
Did you see the plaintiff talking to a police officer?
Yes.
Did there come a time when the police officer let your boyfriend and Chris out of the back of the car?
Not to my knowledge, no.
So they took him away?
Yes.
Did they take you away that evening, sir?
Yes.
Where did they take you?
To Sacramento County Jail.
What about Chris?
Him too, yes.
Is it your testimony that after you had a conversation with the officer let him out of the car?
No, he didn't let him out of the car.
Oh. Well, that's what I thought.
The door was open.
Yeah.
And I was standing right by the door talking to them, and they were begging me the whole time, don't press charges, don't press charges.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Ryan Barnello says during an argument in a nightclub parking lot, his fellow clubgoer Jerry Dunn damaged his truck. Jerry denies ever touching the vehicle.
Why don't you have a seat? Where is your friend Chris?
He is at home, actually. He's back home.
As far as you know, Chris paid him $2,300?
Yes.
Why?
Because he kicked his vehicle and I didn't.
How much was the damage to the vehicle?
The estimate, I've had two. One for $4,286 and one for $4,412.
Well, why do you think that Chris only paid half?
I have no idea.
Have no idea.
No.
Is it possible that it's because what he's telling me is accurate, that the two of you agreed to pay for the damage to his truck?
No.
No?
No.
I think so. And I think that if I were to call Chris, that's exactly what he would tell me, that he agreed to pay for half the damage and you were going to pay for half the damage to the truck. That's what I think. And since I'm the one who's in charge of thinking here, I'm entering a judgment in the amount of $2,200. That's all. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
The judgment was correct. You know, he did kick my truck in, and he's paying for it.
Next time I won't beat anybody up outside of a nightclub.
He never touched me that night, so I don't know what he's talking about.
I guess when you finish something instead of start it, you're the one who actually gets in trouble for it.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Doherty versus Balin. Step forward, please.
Student Sean Doherty is suing his ex-girlfriend, accounting assistant Melissa Balin, for unpaid rent and for the value of a TV and VCR. Melissa is countersuing for harassment.
Mr. Doherty, according to your complaint, you and the defendant dated briefly. You claim a loan to her, and also you say that you loaned her your mother's broken television and VCR. You want both back.
I had no idea that the TV or the VCR was broken.
When you gave it to her?
Mm-hmm.
When did you begin to date her, and when did you stop dating her?
Started dating probably about July and ended it in probably about September.
When was the first loan?
I believe it was electric bill. She paid that back. There was other loans
how
that she
much?
paid back.
So she would loan her money and she would give you the money back?
Yeah.
So what kind of loan are we talking about, sir?
The last loan was for her rent.
Her rent. How much?
$240.
When did you make that loan?
I believe it was September 9th.
Tell me the circumstances around that, sir.
She needed the money to pay for her rent.
I assume so. Did she call you? Were you together when she asked you for the money? Tell me about that.
We were together. I was over her apartment when she asked for the money.
What did she say to you? What did you say to her?
She asked me if she could borrow the money, and I said yes. And so I went down to the ATM and took out the money and handed it to her, and she handed it to her landlord.
In cash?
Yes, in cash.
And what about the television and the VCR?
My mother's TV was a 13-inch color TV, and she wanted it for her daughter so she could watch movies. And I said, well, I'll see if she'll lend it to you.
Why would she lend it to her?
Until she got another TV.
Where was it in your mother's house?
The VCR belonged to me. The television belonged to my mother.
Where had it been in your mother's house?
Her spare bedroom.
So nobody was using it?
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Did your mother know the defendant?
Yes.
Did your mother know the defendant's daughter?
Yes.
Okay. All right, Miss Balin, let's first talk about the television and the VCR. Tell me about your version of the television and the VCR.
I was going to purchase a television, a small television and a VCR for my daughter's bedroom. He says, well, I have a VCR that I'm not using. He says, and his mother had just moved here. He says, she has an extra TV. She doesn't want to let me talk to her. And he called me that night and he said, don't go out and buy one. We've got one you can have.
That sounds more right to me than the story you just told me. Do you understand, Mr. Doherty?
Mm-hmm.
Sounds more close to common sense and the truth that my mom's got an extra one.
She didn't have the money.
Shh. My mom's got an extra one she's not using. I got a VCR that I'm not using. You can have them for your daughter. That sounds right to me. So let's forget about this television VCR because that's a lot of baloney. Well, let's get to the money. $240 for rent.
No. I did borrow money from him.
He says you borrowed money and you paid it back over the course of the brief time that you were together.
Right.
He said this money in September you didn't pay him back.
I didn't borrow that dollar amount from him.
How much did you borrow from him?
I borrowed
for rent?
$50 from him.
For what?
I used it for groceries. I was short.
We're talking about rent. He's already said that you borrowed certain money from him that you paid back, smaller amounts, but that on September 9th you needed money for your rent.
I paid my rent. I was short on money. I didn't have any money for groceries that week, and I did ask him if I could borrow $50 so I could purchase groceries because I had just paid my rent.
Okay. And this was on the 9th of September?
Yeah.
You sure about the date?
I don't know exactly what day it was, but it sounds close.
Can I see a withdrawal from your bank for $240?
I don't have that. I got it from the ATM.
Well, if you got it from the ATM, you would have a record of that, sir.
I didn't ask for a record for it.
Why not?
Because I was in a hurry to, get back to her place.
No. You get that, sir, when you get a bank statement.
Well, they give you the
Listen to me.
option of whether you can have it printed out or not printed out. And
Mr. Doherty, are you trying to dance around me, sir?
No.
You get that in your bank statement at the end of the month that says that you withdrew $240 on the 9th of September. It lists every date that there was activity on your account, and it would show September 9th, $240, not the receipt that you got from the ATM. Where is that, sir?
I didn't bring that with me.
Is there any reason why you knew you were coming to court today?
I couldn't find the record for it.
Then you have no case, sir. Do you understand? When you come to court, you're supposed to bring proof. You're supposed to bring evidence. If part of that evidence is a withdrawal from the ATM, you get your bank record. And if you don't have it, you pick up the phone, call the bank, and you say, I misplaced my September statement. Could you send me another?
Well, I have emails that she stated that she was going to pay me back on September 20th.
Fine.
And she
How
said
much
that
did she say she was going to pay you back?
She didn't. It didn't.
She
didn't write
says
it
she
down.
borrowed $50 from you, and she said she paid it back, not $240. And there was a very easy way of proving that, sir, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, you have a counterclaim for harassment. You want to tell me about that?
I broke up with Sean just because we weren't really going in the same direction as far as a relationship goes. I realized that his feelings were a lot deeper, and I pretty much just wanted a friendship. After I broke up with him, he would call me during the day, send me emails at work, call me at 11:30 at night, asking me, was I just a summer fling? What am I supposed to tell my daughter? At one point, he called me at about 11:30 at night, and I told him, this is ridiculous. It has to stop. Please just leave me alone. At that point, I stopped answering the phone when he called. I have a caller ID box. I stopped answering the call. He started leaving messages on my voicemail stating the first time he said I owed him $150. Call me. Let's discuss it. Then he called me and said I owed him, I believe it was $280. The next time it was $320. The amounts were never the same. While we were together, his mother was going through an issue with a boyfriend where her boyfriend had said he had given her money. And when she called there, he said, I know you didn't give me any money. I just wanted to get you to call me. Finally, he came over to my house. He was knocking on my door. I went and opened the door. He wasn't there. I walked away. Another knock on the door. This time I opened the screen door, and he was standing at the bottom of my steps with his back up against the house. And I hurried up to try and shut the door, and he tried to stick his hand in the door. He's like, I want to talk to you. I had to call my neighbor to come across the street. My witness is here today. She's the one I called to come over. I was terrified. I didn't know what he was going to do. That night I called my friend who works for the sheriff's department. I said, look, I know that he got hurt. I just want him to leave me alone. He needs to just move on.
All right, has he left you alone the last month?
He showed up at a bar that he knows I go to every Friday night. He showed up there this past week, Friday night, and just sat there, made things very uncomfortable for me. I was employed there on Friday nights up until about 4 weeks ago.
Other than that, has he been back to your house?
Not since I called the sheriff on him.
Have the phone calls stopped?
To the best of my knowledge, yes.
You finished?
The reason for the phone calls is I was trying to get my stuff back, other than the TV and the VCR. I had clothes there. I had other personal belongings there.
Did you get your stuff back?
The reason that I had to go over her house is because she said that she was going to drop it off, and she never did.
Did you get your stuff?
Yes, I finally got it back.
And you're not going to bother her anymore, are you, Mr. Doherty?
No.
It's over.
Yeah.
Right?
I wasn't, I just went to the bar because I wanted to go.
Okay, but you're not going to bother her anymore.
No.
It's over. Right?
I hope so. I just want him to leave me alone.
It's a little bit more melodramatic.
Okay. Listen, at most, Mr. Doherty, it cost you $240, and at best, you learned the lesson, and that is when you come to court, you got to bring evidence. You can't just, say, I lent her $240, I lent her $320, I lent her $150. Yeah, especially when you have the evidence. It's available to you. Do you understand? Mm-hmm. Okay, good. That's all. Bye-bye.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Your Honor, this is case number 330 on the calendar in the matter of Davis versus Brown.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in, Your Honor. You may be seated.
Ms. Davis, according to the complaint that I've read, you and the defendant lived together for a period of time. It is your claim that when you moved in together, you put down a substantial amount of money, almost, I think, $4,000. You call it a down payment on the house. You say that Mr. Brown subsequently kicked you out of the house and you want that money back. You also said that he's used a video card where you rent videos from a store without your permission. It belonged to you. He didn't return the videos, and you now have a very extensive bill from that store. Mr. Brown says you never gave him a dime, and he's got a counterclaim for bills that he claims you owe him, and he says you've been bothering him that he doesn't like, so he wants you to pay for his trouble. Right.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, Ms. Davis, when did you move in with the defendant?
Your Honor, I would like to tell you how my ex-boyfriend did me wrong. He moved in with me in November of 2000.
But listen to my question. When did you move in together in a place where you claim you put money down?
In June of 2001.
That's wrong.
Shh. Now listen, I'm going to get to you. So don't interrupt her. We do things in a very orderly way here. It's the only way that I can function. Otherwise, I become frustrated. And Bird doesn't like it when I get frustrated. When did you move in together? June of 2001? Very good. And was this a house or an apartment?
It was a mobile home.
Was it a rental?
No, ma'am.
He bought it?
Process of buying, yes, ma'am.
And you say you gave him how much money?
It was $4,366.
And where did you get that money from?
I traded my mobile home in on the one that he purchased.
Okay. Do you have any evidence of that transaction? All right, sir. I seem to have some evidence would tend to indicate, Mr. Brown, that she did not, in fact, give you any money towards the purpose of your mobile home.
Exactly, she did not.
Listen to me carefully, sir. I have evidence that she did not give you any money towards the purchase of your mobile home. But I have evidence here that she traded in her mobile home
no, ma'am.
as a partial down payment for a mobile home that went into your name.
No, not at all.
Not at all?
Not at all. What has transpired was a mobile home that was sold from her cousin to me for $500, which we used as a trade-in.
Yeah, but they gave you credit for $4,366 as a down payment credit.
That was the value of the mobile home. I'm buying something for $500 and trading in for another amount. That's just like a good business transaction.
Your Honor,
Does it make sense? It's a profitable business transaction. If you can buy a car for $200 and sell it for $2,000, that's a smart buy. So that's exactly what I did. I took a smart buy and used it to advance in a better home for me and my children.
Something doesn't sound right, sir.
It doesn't sound
Does it sound right to you? He buys it for $500 from her cousin and then uses it, and they give him a down payment credit of $4,366.
I also gave in a $2,500 cash deposit as well.
On or about June 26, 2001, traded in her 1964 Windsor mobile home as a down payment on a 1998 Horton manufactured home.
Right. This
1998 Horton manufactured was being purchased by David R. Brown. We gave Miss $4,366 on a down payment credit on the 1998 Horton.
Yes. Now, where's her name? Is that on any of the transactions?
Show that to him.
Your Honor, the reason why my name is not on there because the title was never changed over into my name, but I have a receipt where I purchased the mobile home before I met him.
It's for a different mobile home she's speaking of. And we never used that mobile home as a trade-in. This right here is sufficient. This right here is sufficient. And her name is not on there in the transaction because she has no involvement in the transaction.
I never said my name was on the mobile home, Your Honor.
She gave me these monies in her mobile home, and her name is not on anything. Does that make any sense?
That is my cousin.
Her cousin.
Ah. So they gave Miss $4,366 for the down payment.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Forget it. I don't look into that. Your name was not on the title to that mobile home?
No, ma'am.
All right,
At
then
the
forget
time,
it.
I did not have a job, but I have a receipt where I bought the mobile home from Miss.
Show me.
Do you have the receipt?
You mean
up there?
this? $500?
Yes, and I also have this right here.
You have this? Is this what you're talking about?
Yes, ma'am.
That's nothing. That's nothing. That's something that you buy in a grocery store.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Morticia Davis says ex-boyfriend David Brown owes her for the down payment on a mobile home and unpaid video rentals. David says her lawsuit is bogus.
Now, what about this video card?
When I got evicted off the mobile home, he used my Blockbuster
When did he evict
card.
you from the mobile home?
May. She moved out of the home before the eviction took place. So therefore,
What do you mean there was an eviction? Had you gone to court to evict her?
I went to court to evict her.
Why is that?
Because there was South Carolina state law. Once someone established residence in your home, in order for them to move out against their will, you have to evict them out.
All right, so the relationship wasn't going well, I assume.
It's downhill from...
Do you have children together?
No, we do not, thank God.
Perfect. Okay, so what about this video card?
Well, when he got his new girlfriend evicted me, I got some bills in the mail, which he used my card illegally at 3 different Blockbusters, never took the videos back.
Show me. You were evicted in May, is that right? Yes. Well, this is March of 2002.
Thank you.
This is March of 2002.
That's when he used
This
the
is
card,
March
Your
of
Honor.
2002.
And we both
This
reside.
is, this is March of 2002, and this is March of 2002. So
After I got evicted, that's when I got the bills in the mail, which he had used them.
No.
Well, listen to me. Miss Davis, how do what? You lived together in March of 2002. You were
He
sharing
was
a
not
home.
there in March,
Quiet.
Your Honor. He was not there. He lived with his new girlfriend until I got evicted.
Lies.
He was
Listen
not
to
there.
me.
Lie.
You kind of,
She's lying, Your Honor.
I don't want to say it again. It doesn't appear as if you're doing badly in this lawsuit so far. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
But what can happen is you can lose if you open your mouth again. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
You have any of these movies home, sir?
No, I do not.
He's not going to admit
Do you
to
know
it.
where they are?
They last was left in the home that she was residing in. Now, what she did with them after that, I don't know.
Your Honor, that's not true.
I haven't been back to the house. At the time, I was out the house from late part of March all the way up until April, May.
See, now he's,
back in
now
May.
he's
Don't
telling
interrupt him.
Back into May.
All right, you have no case, Miss Davis. That's you. Do you want to get to your counterclaim? Mr. Brown.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. You said she owes you bills.
Yes, ma'am.
What does she owe you bills for?
For rent, electric bill.
She doesn't owe you for rent. You weren't anticipating any rent from her.
I loaned her a few $100s for a couple of car note payments.
Yeah, go ahead. What else?
And
Chalk it up to experience. What else?
harassment.
Well, I have a feeling that that's true, that she's been harassing you.
And she just don't.
I have a feeling that that's probably true. So you want to tell me about the harassment?
I mean, she caused problems with me at work. She caused problems with me and my children. I'm a single parent of 2 children. Today is my son's birthday. I should be home with him instead of her in this courtroom. But Ms. Davis, again, want to file a lawsuit that she know she have no bearing to hold on. So therefore, it's just constantly, she won't leave me alone. We broke up, let it go. But yes, she's steady looking for a payout for something she knows she's not owed to.
I believe you. I believe that she has made it her mission at this portion in her life to make your life miserable. That's what I believe. Put your hand down. Why can't you just say it didn't work out, period, end of discussion? While you were living together for that year, where were you working?
Interim health care.
Okay.
And I took care of 4 kids.
What did you do with your money?
I paid bills.
What bills?
I have light bills, water bills, phone bills.
He paid the rent.
Yes, that's all he paid was the rent and the land payment.
What about the food?
I got that.
No.
Really?
I was on food stamps, Your Honor.
Was not. She was not. And as far as the electric bills and bills, those bills are in my name. And then she couldn't pay those bills. That's why I'm here now about the electric bill and bills that she has now.
Your Honor, I have these bills. Yes, they was in his name,
me.
but I paid them.
Show me.
After the fact that I left the house and I had these utilities cut off because she refused to pay them.
You mean after you left in March?
After I left in March. She was running them up in my name, therefore I had these bills.
Your Honor, that's not true.
Yeah, this is April. I want to see anything before that, madam, before you were in the house by yourself. You have proof that you paid any bills?
I paid all the bills, Your Honor.
Listen to what I'm saying.
No, Your
to
Honor,
you.
that is all I have.
Right. That I can understand.
And Mr. Brown had those bills in his name because he moved up there before I did. That's why they was in his name.
Pay full attention to me.
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you have a checking account?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
So all you have to do was to bring to court today, since you knew that he was counterclaiming for bills.
Your Honor, I didn't know.
Proof? What do you mean you didn't know?
I didn't know he was countersuing me.
Really? When did you file your counterclaim, sir?
Monday.
When did you serve her?
He haven't.
Oh, then it's dismissed. Your counterclaim's dismissed. But not only is your counterclaim dismissed, Mr. Brown, but so is your lawsuit, and I'm going to make this suggestion to you. Sometimes things don't work out. How old are you?
I'm 24.
You have children?
I have 2. I'm a single parent.
Put a period, this is over, and devote all of your energies to working and your 2 children. Leave him alone. He doesn't owe you any money. Goodbye.
I don't harass him, Your Honor.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
He jumped on me twice, and the mobile home was mine, which I didn't have the title with me.
Many a times she had me arrested for domestic criminal violence, something that I didn't do.
He's not going to do anything without being in the courtroom because he thinks he can get away with a lot of stuff.
She came in here, Judge Judy seen between the lies of what she was trying to tell. Didn't get nothing. Justice was served for the first time.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Robinson versus Bradford. Step forward, please.
Psychotherapist Cliff Robinson is suing his former friend, lab technician Angela Bradford, for the cost to repair his car window. Angela is countersuing also for the cost of a car window.
Mr. Robinson, it is your claim that the defendant's son broke a window in your car, that the defendant, who was a friend of yours, agreed to fix it and did not pay you the money that it cost you to fix this rear window. Was it a rear window of your car?
Rear quarter panel, yes.
Ms. Bradford says, I think she's saying that she had initially agreed to pay for the window. Is that right?
That is correct.
But later, your son broke one of her windows in her car, and you should pay for that window. Is that your defense?
It is.
So let's make this as simple as we can, because Bird knows that I like to keep things simple. How much was the window in your car, Mr. Robinson?
The window itself, Your Honor, came to $972.29.
Let me see.
I have pictures and the estimate.
Well, I'm just curious because in here you say that my window cost $800 to replace, sir.
That's with the labor and what it cost to.
What did it cost you?
$972, whatever the difference was.
How did you pay for this?
Cash.
No. Not even sure about this bill. What kind of window was this?
It's a rear quarter panel window in the Eddie Bauer Expedition.
Oh, so it's a big window.
It's a big window.
Okay. Now, the only question that I have is whether or not you are in any way responsible for damage that she alleges your son did to her window. So, Ms. Bradford, I read your answer and I read your cross-complaint. And it appeared to me that you two were friends.
Correct.
How many children do you have?
I have 4.
And there came a time when, after this incident involving his car, he brought his kids over to your house to play.
Correct.
And asked you if you would watch his kids for a while.
For 15 minutes, which turned into an hour and a half.
Whatever. You agreed to take care of his children. And it was while you were in charge of his children that your car window was broken.
Correct.
Should have taken care of him better. Do you understand?
I hear exactly what you're saying,
okay. Because it was your job to supervise the children, because you had assumed that responsibility when he left his kids there. Therefore, if something happened to your car as a result of a ball being thrown, that's your problem, not his. It's a lot of money. Do you have any insurance, sir?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Well, what's your deductible?
$1,000.
Do you have any proof that you have a $1,000 deductible?
I didn't bring any insurance with the information.
Why
with
is
me, no.
that?
I didn't think it was relevant.
Well, it is relevant, sir. It's relevant how much out-of-pocket you had. Are you telling me that you actually paid Collins Auto Glass $972 in
That's
cash?
correct.
Let's give them a call and find out. You know these people?
No, I don't.
They were just people you chose randomly?
That's correct.
Okay. In Seattle, Washington, for Collins Auto Glass. So there is no Collins Auto Glass in Seattle. Mr. Robinson, sir, is this Collins Auto Glass in Seattle?
Yes, it is.
Well, they don't have a listing form in Seattle, sir.
Well, I know
They don't have a listing form in Seattle, Washington. There is a phone number on here, sir. 206 number? There is a phone number here. It's your phone number. The only phone number that appears on this is your phone number.
Yeah, my information is on there, and then in the... I don't know.
Show it to him.
Yeah, that's my telephone number.
That's correct.
Oh, yeah, no. I don't.
Collins Auto Glass doesn't have a phone number for their business. They also don't know how to spell residential.
Well, I know in June, when I got it fixed, there was a Collins Auto Glass. I got it out of the Yellow Pages.
Well, it must have been their last job, Mr. Robinson, because they closed down. They're not there anymore. Sort of interesting. But I'm holding you to what your complaint says, or your sworn complaint says it was $800 to replace. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $800. On your counterclaim, Ms. Bradford, I've already explained to you the children were under your supervision when your car window got broken, so if you weren't supervising them adequately, I can't fault him for that. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Now, this is case number 314 on the calendar in the matter of Sands versus Azarovich. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks have seats.
Mr. Sands, the defendant is the girlfriend of your former landlord.
Correct.
And it is your claim that during an argument that took place really between your landlord and you, that the defendant assaulted you, caused you substantial injury, caused you to be seen by a doctor, caused you substantial pain and suffering, and you want to be compensated for that.
Correct.
Ms. Esarovich, is your boyfriend here today?
Yes.
Is that this gentleman right here?
Yes.
Okay. You had been a tenant of his for some time. There had been some problems. You wanted the place painted because you said there was paint chipping. He wasn't responsive to your request. You called the housing department. He was forced to paint. You say in retaliation to that, they moved to have you evicted. You ultimately won a settlement from them. So far, is that generally what happened?
Yes.
Now, the garage space had become an issue. Is that right, Mr. Sands?
Yes.
This is when this altercation took place. Now, Mr. Sands, why don't you tell me the date that this incident took place?
It was on September 7th of 2001.
And tell me what happened.
Miss Esarovich and Mr. Evanson approached the gate of the yard leading into my house. I was outside and I asked them if there was something I could do to help them, and they didn't answer, but they proceeded to go into the garage, which was part of the property that I had been renting for in excess of 4 years.
Well, do you have a lease?
I do.
And does the lease include the garage?
It wasn't specified.
If it's not specified, it doesn't include the garage.
However, I had been in full use of the garage for the entire term of my tenancy without sharing it with any other tenants.
Listen, if you have a lease that says that you are renting a house and there is another property on that land, some other edifice, and if it's not specified that you have use of that, that your rent also includes that, you're not entitled to it. In any event, they came on the property that you were renting in order to deal with this garage issue. Let's proceed from there.
Okay, well, they proceeded to walk into the garage. I didn't know what they were doing because they hadn't responded to me when they came into the yard. So I followed them into the garage, and I asked them what they were doing. And they told me that they were looking at their garage. And I said that you need to have given me 24 hours of written notice to, you know, examine the property.
It's not your property. Garage is not your property. They didn't go into your house, did they?
Well, they went into something that I viewed as being included in the
That's
in the
your
property.
view. That's your view. That's not their view. That's not my view. They don't have to give you written notice of going and looking at their property. What if there was a
Okay.
guest house on your property? A guest house on the property?
According to the officials that I spoke to
I'm
at
telling
the
you,
rent
I don't
control-
believe that. So
Okay.
let's move on.
Sure.
They went to look at their property.
Okay. And I told them that I would have to call the police, which I then did. I went back into the house, and at that point I asked Emily, who's a friend of mine who had showed up to go to this yoga class with me, to bring me out my regular phone. At that point, I dialed 911 on the regular phone. The police came eventually onto the phone. At that point, the landlord and this woman came out of the garage. She saw Emily standing near the house and started screaming at her.
What was she saying?
She said, "Who is this woman? She is not allowed to be on the property. She is not on your lease. Where are your wife and children? And you are a liar," and et cetera, et cetera. At that point, I walked up and stood between the two of them and said, "She is allowed to be on the property. She's my guest, and you can't come and scream at a guest of mine.
Absolutely right.
You need to leave. This is inappropriate." At that point, I felt my arms pulled behind me like this. And I realized that it was the landlord, Mr. Evanson, who had grabbed me from behind. He then pulled my shirt up around my neck and through my mouth and started strangling me. At that point, I became relatively concerned, and I started screaming for help. I continued to scream for help until I couldn't speak anymore. He choked me so forcefully.
Could we move this on a little faster, please?
Sure.
Good.
After that, Mila walked up, and I assumed that she was going to tell him to let me go, but she didn't. She stood at a 45-degree angle to me, and she kicked my right knee in.
That's what we're talking about.
That's what this suit is based on.
Okay. Now, I want you to tell me your version of the events, and please try to do it a little faster.
Okay, this is on the date of September 7, at 6 o'clock approximately. Okay, well, before
Just, you get there. Okay. You go into the garage.
Right.
Go ahead.
Well, Mr. Sands, he closed the door behind us and turned the lights off and left us in the dark.
Go ahead.
His dog was viciously barking at us.
Where was the dog?
The dog was by his side.
Was the dog on a leash?
No.
Go ahead.
Then he approached me and started threatening me.
What did he say?
Well, he approached me as close like that, you know, to my face, and started threatening me and screaming.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Charles Sands says his former landlord's girlfriend, Mila Azarovich, assaulted him by kicking him in the knee. Mila says Charles kicked her fiancé in the groin.
Go ahead.
Then Lars was concerned about my safety. He circled his arms around Charles Sands.
From the back?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
And he's very experienced in this kind of situation, how to handle it in non-violent manner.
He circled him. He immobilized him.
Right.
Go ahead.
At that moment, Charles Sands kicked him in the groin area very hard. The next moment, Charles Sands took a bat in his hand and hit Lars in his face, then in his ribs, and Lars fell on the concrete floor. Rick Sanchez came out. He tried to pull them.
Who is Mr. Sanchez?
Is
he a neighbor?
Yes.
Would you step up, sir?
Sure.
You're Mr. Sanchez?
Yes, I am, Your Honor.
How long have you been a tenant?
10 years.
Did you witness any of this altercation?
I did.
Would you tell me what you saw, sir?
On that evening, approximately the same time that both of them mentioned, I had been traveling. I came home, I was laying on my couch, and I heard some screams for help, 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 help.
Male voice, female voice?
It was a male voice. It was a male voice. And knowing that Chuck lives in the back, I didn't know if a vehicle had fallen on him or whatever the case was. And I went to the back bedroom, looked out the window. And when I looked out the window, I saw Mr. Evanson had Mr. Sands around the neck from behind with his shirt around his neck and was holding him, not allowing him to move. I decided to go outside. I went out and I told Mr. Evanson, you don't want to do this, let go of Chuck, let's stop this, at which time he did. Mila was out there also at the time, and of course there was some screaming and yelling and what have you. And he let go of Chuck, and I think I mentioned to Chuck's girlfriend to call the police. I don't know if she already had or not, but I said, call the police. And I went back in the house, and when I went back in the house, I heard some more commotion, so I came back out. Mr. Evanson and Mr. Sands were at separate ends of the yard, and at which time I said, this needs to stop. And I think Mila at that point had forced Lars out the back gate, and they exited the property.
Did you see either of these two gentlemen injured in any way?
No, I did not.
Didn't see him injured?
I didn't see him injured.
And you didn't see him injured?
I did not.
Did you hear either one of them complain about being injured?
No, I did not.
Didn't limp? You didn't see him limp?
I didn't notice.
He didn't say anything to you. I'm injured,
He
call
did
an
not say-
ambulance.
he did not say anything to me.
Call an ambulance, I need medical attention.
No.
Nothing.
No.
Oh. What kind of property is this, Mr. Sanchez?
It's a rental property that has a rental above. I live on the bottom floor, and then in the back there is another residence there, which is where Mr. Sands lives.
And what about this garage? Can you tell me about it?
Yeah, it's a removed area. You have the back part of the house, and then probably 5 to 8 feet there's a garage there.
Who uses that garage?
I really never knew. I don't know.
You don't use it?
I do not use it, no.
Do you have a lease?
I do.
Does your lease provide for use of any garage space?
No, it does not.
Did you ever have occasion to call the Board of Health or anyone else with regard to the property and its being in unsafe condition?
I never made a call like that, no.
Thank you. Have a seat. Okay, so you got kicked in the knee, Mr. Sands. Let's hear the rest.
So she kicked me in the knee.
That's what you told me. And this was on the 7th of September?
Yes.
Can I see the medical reports, please? By the way, tell me about the settlement that you won when you sued them. How many times have you sued them?
No, I didn't actually sue them. What happened was I had complained about lead-based paint that was flaking off of the house and had been doing that for basically the entire term of my tenancy. I have 2 small children, and I was very concerned about this. I told them that I was going to have to complain to the city. They said, do whatever you want, and I did that. The city came out, issued them an order to comply, and within a week they filed to evict me.
Repaid you. Oh, they filed to evict you?
Right. The only grounds that they could use if I hadn't done anything wrong, they said that they were going to move into my house.
Okay.
So within a week of them receiving this order to comply, they had filed to evict me.
Go ahead.
We were involved in this eviction process wherein they tried to say that my children didn't live with me, et cetera, et cetera.
Do they live with you?
Yes, they do. They were attempting to do that so that they wouldn't have to pay me the full relocation fee, which is required by the Rent Control Board. After several court appearances, they settled for a relocation sum that was considerably larger than they would have had to pay in the first place.
Which is what?
$5,000 is the amount that a family is entitled to for relocation.
Is that what you got?
No, actually I got in the neighborhood of $8,000.
That sounds pretty good.
Well, considering
Let me
that
ask you this question. Diagnostic impression here is that you have, other than one knee contusion, and you went to the doctor, I see, a day later, not that day. So you weren't feeling too badly that day. You went a day later. You have mild something strain, right shoulder abrasion, mild soft tissue trauma to the neck, okay? So you take a little aspirin. Since none of the last 3 of these injuries is attributed to the defendant, but attributed to the landlord, I'm curious as to why you chose to sue her instead of him.
Well, as I was being assaulted, let me continue.
No. Just answer my question. You answer my question.
Okay, there's two reasons. First of all, I don't believe that Mr. Evanson is fully responsible for his actions. He has had some brain injury in the past, and I think he may be being manipulated by this woman. Secondly, as I was trying to escape, in my struggle, I may have injured him. However, I never kneed him in the groin.
Just a minute. What do you mean you may have injured him? How may you have injured him, sir?
As he was choking me from behind. He's considerably taller than I am.
I see that.
I was trying to escape by elbowing him. So I may have injured him.
So it's a fair statement, so that the reason you didn't sue him and chose to sue her, you felt that he may have a defense of self-defense, and she had none.
No, not precisely.
Yeah. Would you step up, please? Tell me your name.
My name is Emily Gray.
Where do you live, Miss Gray?
I live in Newport Beach.
Okay. Tell me what your relationship is with Mr. Sands.
I'm a good friend of Mr. Sands.
Do you know his wife?
Yes, I do.
What's her name?
Anne.
Where does Anne live?
She lives in San Pedro as well. I don't know the exact location.
But she doesn't live with Mr. Sands?
Not presently.
That is correct. She does not live with Mr. Sands.
She does not live with him now.
And she was not living with him in September of 2001?
She might have just moved out.
Right. Now, how old are Mr. Sands' two children?
His son is about 14 and his daughter is about 7.
And who do those children live with?
They live with him.
They live with him. And they were living with him in September of 2001 after his wife moved out?
Yes.
Does he have permanent custody of those children?
I don't know exactly the details. They spend weekends with their mothers. Otherwise, they're mainly at his house.
Where do they go to school from?
What do you mean from?
Where do they go to school from? From your house?
Yeah.
Both of them?
Right.
Okay. Do you have joint custody of the children?
My son and my daughter are from 2 different marriages.
Do you have joint custody of your children, sir?
I have primary custody of my son, and there is no actual paperwork because we're only separated. My daughter's mom and I are only separated.
They still get along. I mean, you and your ex-wife
Yeah,
still get along.
my
So.
daughter's mom and I get along pretty well. And
I'm not interested in that, whether you still get along pretty
Sure.
well or not. I'm just interested in why somebody gave you $8,000 to move.
Because it was established that the kids live with me.
You're on the rules.
Now, was he treated for any injuries that he sustained
Yes.
that day?
Yes.
You have the medical report on that?
Yes.
I'd like to see it.
He saw that his tooth was knocked out. So I'm just...
All right, and his diagnosis is groin contusion, facial contusion, and prescription is ice and Motrin in the evening for pain. So you were right, Mr. Sands. You did injure him. Did he sue you?
No.
Why do you think that is, sir?
Because any injuries that he sustained were due to self-defense on my part. He attacked me from behind, and he...
You think you both behaved badly that day?
No, I don't. I don't believe I behaved badly. I tried to escape.
If you tried to escape, sir,
Yeah.
you had already gotten outside of the garage. You went inside to get a telephone.
No,
You went inside. Pay careful attention to me, sir.
Okay.
You went inside to get a telephone before anything happened to call 911. And you said you walked outside. Now, if you wanted to defuse a situation before anything happened, you stay inside, you call 911.
Actually, I was concerned that they might do something strange in my garage. We were at that point embroiled in a bitter eviction matter. I didn't know what they were capable of.
Well, Mr. Sands, I know this, sir. I know
So I was keeping an eye on
they
them.
paid you $8,000 in order to get you and your children, who were there sometimes and not there other times, to move. And I know that this gentleman, who you described as someone who may not be functioning optimally because of some injury, was more injured than you were that day. That I know for sure from reading the medical records. And you said that the reason you didn't sue him is because you felt sorry, because you didn't think that perhaps he understood everything that was going on. And I think that that's a crocker who shot John. I think that the reason you didn't sue him is because his injuries were more severe than yours. And if he got kicked in the shins by his girlfriend, so be it. You got $8,000 from them. You're not getting another penny, Mr. Sands. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out. This is case number 4.
Right?
Yes, please.
And Ms. Ream, I've read your answer, and it's sort of like one from column A, one from column B. You have the following defenses, according to what I read. Number one, it wasn't an engagement ring because you never said yes.
Yes.
If you don't buy that, it was an engagement ring, but he told you you should keep it even if you didn't get married, correct?
Yes.
And number three, in case you don't buy those two, it was an engagement ring, there was no deal for me to keep it, I would have given it back, but it got stolen.
Yes, ma'am.
So you don't have it anymore?
No, ma'am.
Is that right? When did you give her the ring?
I think it was May of 2001.
And how long had you known her?
I met her in November. I knew her approximately 6 months and gave her the ring.
Okay, what kind of a ring was it?
It was an engagement ring.
Can I see the receipt for it?
I have the receipt. Plus, Your Honor, at the time, I had just moved, and I didn't have the receipt for the second half of the ring, but I've found that, and I've got that. So here are those two receipts.
What do you mean the second half of the ring?
You know, the band that goes, connects as one.
Oh, you mean the wedding bands?
Yeah,
like
yes.
Set.
Yes, ma'am, yes. And that's the other half that I still have, which does mean no good.
Okay, where is this? Did you give her both of these rings?
No.
You have one?
I have one, yes.
Okay, so it's $969.75.
Yes, Judge, yes.
Okay. So you gave it to her in May, and you broke up when?
Around July, things started falling apart.
July of?
2001.
2001. When did you ask for the ring back?
Around August, I believe, the end of July.
What'd she tell you?
She agreed. We both agreed that it wasn't going to work out, and I went to pick up the ring. She had told me that she let some carpet cleaning people into her house, and she was afraid to be alone with these men. So she left, and when I got there, she went to get the ring. It was gone. It's funny because there was lots of jewelry, diamonds, everything, but they only took mine, my little ring, and I couldn't understand that. That didn't make sense to me.
Okay, just a second. So you broke up in July, and it was a month later that you went over to get the ring.
Correct.
But you had asked for it when?
Probably at the end of July.
Okay, and she said come over in August.
Yes. Well, she kept saying it might work, I hope it works, it might work, it may not work. So we tried, and it wasn't going anywhere.
Okay. Now I'll hear you.
Like it said, I lost my husband prior to that, and I was very vulnerable. And
I'm not interested in that.
Okay,
I mean, not that I'm insensitive,
okay,
madam. It has
okay.
nothing to do with the ring.
But, okay, well, we started dating, and I told him I wasn't ready to get married. And he got pushy about the ring. And then he asked me to marry him in May, and I told him I wasn't ready. And then he said, keep it as a gift. And think about it.
All right, let's just say nothing. Say nothing. I don't believe that. Go to the next defense.
Okay, I put it into my jewelry box for safekeeping. And so then, like he said, I had the cleaners come. I had to go pick up my daughter from school. It should have only taken 15 to 20 minutes. And so I went to pick her up, came back, and there was some coins and a little bit of jewelry missing and the ring. And he made me call the police, and we made a police report. It's right here. And it couldn't be an engagement ring because he dated other women. He verbally abused me. He verbally abused my daughter.
I'm not interested.
Okay. But it just was an engagement ring.
Sure, it was an engagement ring. It was an engagement ring because he bought not only the ring, he bought the wedding band.
I told him I wasn't ready to get married. He told me to keep it.
I don't believe you. I don't believe you. You owe him $975. Let me explain something to you. If you have a ring, and if you break up with him, and if you're not going to see him anymore, you give him back the ring. Case closed.
I tried to.
Case closed. In July, you don't hold on to it and put it in a box for safekeeping. That is, if in fact you put it in a box for safekeeping and you didn't go sell it someplace, which I think you probably did, or you still have it and maybe you're going to give it to your daughter or somebody else. In the meantime, if it doesn't work out, why should he feel as if you've taken advantage of him? Why?
It was the other way. He told me he needed money for tires. Constantly always after me for money, all the time. That's what this is all about. He just told me he's going to take me to court to get tires because he needs new tires and because he just bought another house.
Listen to me very carefully, madam.
He's taken advantage of me from the very beginning.
Then how old are you?
I'm 38, but I'm very well put together. At the time, I wasn't. I was distraught.
Listen to me. You don't look like the kind of person that anybody takes advantage of.
I just lost my husband, and my mom got diagnosed with cancer, and he knew this.
Listen to me. Listen to me. If you were grieving over your husband, you don't take a ring from somebody else.
I know that. I know that now.
But you did. But you
I
did.
made a
and
mistake.
by taking a ring from somebody, what you're really saying is, I'm interested. I'm interested. That's leading somebody on. That's cruel. That's unkind. And in my judgment, after listening to both of these stories and hearing your three defenses, A, I didn't say yes. B, if I said yes, he told me to keep it anyway, even if we broke up. And C, it got stolen. I don't believe you. After he came over and looked for the ring, you said, I'm sorry, my other stuff is here, but your ring is gone. He said, well, file a police report, which is what you did, correct? Anywhere in the police report did it say that there was evidence of a burglary?
Yes.
Well, show me. Show me where. No, read it where it says there was evidence of burglary.
Right here on the top, it says crime, burglary.
Show me where the police wrote down that there was evidence of a burglary, not what you claimed there was.
It doesn't say burglary, but it says she opened the top drawer and discovered her ring missing.
Right, that's what you said. That's not what the...
That's what he said.
No,
he also did this police report with me.
Miss Reed, I mean, are you just thick? He comes over to get his ring. You go in with him to your drawer. You open the drawer with him. You say, oh, your ring must have been taken, along with some other coins that I might have there. That's too bad. Then you go and file a police report because he says, according to you, that you should go and file a police report, which is what you did. That doesn't mean the police found any evidence of a burglary because there was no burglary. You have insurance, by the way?
Whatever.
You have insurance on your other jewelry?
No, I don't.
Okay. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of the ring, which was $969.75. Ms. Ream, I don't believe you. Goodbye.
You don't
Thank you, Your Honor.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
He was always telling me to buy him things and stuff like that and saying, well, you got money, you got money.
I own 2 homes, and she told me to sell my homes and give her all my money.
He sues everybody. This is not his first time he sued somebody. He's sue happy.
She used to call me on the phone and threaten me and tell me if I go to court, I'll be sorry.
He's a liar, and he took advantage, and he knows.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Smith versus Henderson. Step forward, please.
Maintenance man Joe Smith is suing his former live-in lover, paratransit driver Lisa Henderson, for the return of property. Lisa is countersuing for damages to her home and mental anguish.
According to your complaint, you folks lived together for about 4 years. And at some point, Mr. Smith, you were arrested on a domestic violence charge, either domestic violence or violating a protective order that Ms. Henderson had obtained. It is your claim that while you were incarcerated, she took your property and she won't give it back to you. You did get some of your property, but she still has a whole bunch of your stuff.
Correct.
That's what your lawsuit is about. Ms. Henderson says that you got everything that you're entitled to. What you didn't take yourself, an uncle of yours came and picked up. And she is counterclaiming for some damage that you did to her door when you were violating this protective order. So that's what we have. When were you arrested, Mr. Smith, for the first time on this charge of domestic violence?
That was like almost 4 years ago. I don't remember the exact date.
That's not the time that you took your property.
Yes, that's the previous time. It happened twice.
How many times have you been arrested altogether for domestic violence?
Once.
No, it had to be more than once. You said once 4 years ago, once more recently.
No,
so
this was for violating a restraining order for just going to the residence. There wasn't any violence involved.
Is that right?
Yeah, he was charged twice. One for holding me captive in my apartment when I was 6 months pregnant in January of 2000. And he was convicted of that charge. We got back together.
A testament to your good judgment.
Yeah. October 17th of last year, I had a restraining order issued to him. 2 hours and 15 minutes later, after he was served, he kicked in the front door.
Now, why was another protective order issued in October of 2002?
Because we were not getting along in the household. I asked Mr. Smith to leave my house. He was...
How long had he been living there?
For like 4 months. And we were not getting along.
So he's living there for 4 months. You weren't getting along. But no violence.
No. The police had to come out one incident in September where he threatened to put a hit out on me. Before that, he said he doesn't like my son and he never will. So I said, you need to get your belongings and get up out of my house. If you don't like my son, you don't care for me.
What happened in October?
I asked him to give him a certain amount of time to get his personal belongings and give him enough time to move out.
Did she do that?
No.
No,
Just a second, don't interrupt. She didn't say to you, you have a week or 2 days or
No,
48
she said,
hours?
get out right now.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Joe Smith says ex-girlfriend Lisa Henderson won't return his property. Lisa says Joe threatened to put a hit out on her.
What did you do when she told you to get out?
I told her I couldn't because I had just paid my rent, PG&E, and cable, and I have the receipts for that.
So you were paying the bills?
Yes.
Some of the bills at
Yes.
least there. So you said, I'm not leaving because I'm paid up through November 1st.
Actually, I told her I couldn't afford it because I just put my money into the household.
Okay. But you told me you...
Shh, don't speak to him. Speak to me. So that was the conversation. He said, I'm not leaving right now. And what did you say to him?
I told him he needs to be out of my house within that Friday. He sits around bragging that he got so many women to take care of him. So I said, call one of them up, tell them to back their car up in here and get your things up out of my house.
And he said what?
He said, I'm not going nowhere. I'm a legal resident. I'm not going nowhere. You have to get me out legally.
Okay.
So the next day, I went and filed for a restraining order.
Well, Miss Henderson, that's a violation of really what the restraining order is supposed to be about, madam. A restraining order is not something that you use instead of housing court. You had a discussion, you had an argument, you said get out and leave, and he said I'm not leaving. And you said no, you're going to leave, and he said get me out a legal way, and you said what's the best legal way for me to get out? I'll just go and tell somebody he threatened me. And you fill out a paper and you lie, because so far I haven't heard anything about a threat. And a judge looks at it and issues a restraining order. That's an abuse of what a restraining order is supposed to be. I'm here to tell you that. You can't use it in place of housing court that may take a little more time. So I'm sure you knew housing court would take a little more time, so you say restraining order, that takes a flash, and he's out. So then he's annoyed, because you get this restraining order and you lied to the judge when you got it.
No.
Yeah, sure you did. You had to have written something down that wasn't true.
When he threatened to put a hit out on me.
That was before.
I had the police come out for a report.
That was before. You were not annoyed about that. You were annoyed because he was bragging about other women and your son, and you wanted him out of the house. Come on, Miss Henderson. So you got the restraining order, and then what did you do?
I had Mr. Smith served.
And then what happened?
And 2 hours and 15 minutes later, he came to the house and kicked the door in and threw the restraining order back in the house.
You have a copy of the papers that you used to get the restraining order? Can I see the checks that you wrote for any of the bills in the apartment, Mr.
Yes,
Smith,
ma'am.
please? How much money did he give you towards rent every month?
$100, sometime $97.
Did you pay the cable bill?
Sometime.
Well, he paid in September, he paid in August, he paid in May.
We split everything in the household.
So he paid his way. So he wasn't just coming to visit on weekends, right?
Right.
Well, that's not what you say in here, in your statement to the police. Sometimes I will allow him to stay a weekend or a few days because we were getting along. but then he won't leave. Well, that's not true.
Right, Mr. Smith
That's
got
not
evicted and asked me to come help him when he got evicted out of his place in Cutting. Our agreement was he was supposed to stay so long to save up enough money so he can get his own place.
Well, that's not months and months where he's paying half the rent, paying half the bills, cutting everything in half. So he is a tenant there.
Right.
Okay. All right, Mr. Smith.
Yes.
I want you to tell me, sir, what items do you claim that Miss Henderson has that belong to you?
Everything on my list that I have here.
Well, let me take a look at the list.
Okay. It's quite a bit. You might want to take a recess.
Show this to her, would you please, Bert?
No, I have my list, Your Honor. And this is the list that we had in November 22nd when he was incarcerated, and he gave it to me.
Who wrote that list?
He did.
Oh, then let me see that
and
list.
And he got a different total from what he has on there.
Oh, fine. Then let me take a look. And the check, and what you've crossed out is?
The things that I gave to Larry in November.
So you still have the other things?
Because those are the things that he gave to me by him bringing it into the household, which is a gift to me.
No, it's not a gift. None of these things are gifts. I want you to listen to me. None of these things are gifts. Everything on this list that he prepared, so I won't look at this list. This is the list he prepared. You make sure are boxed up because he's going to send somebody to get them. Do you understand?
Yes.
No fooling around. Listen to me. If you're frightened enough of somebody to seek the court's assistance in getting a restraining order against them, you want everything that you have that might cause them irritation out of the house. You didn't have these things before he moved back. Now you're going to give them back to him, and the only contact you're going to have with him is over visitation or contact with a child that you share in common. So stop acting stupid. Now let's talk about him busting down your door. He knocked down the door, Miss Henderson. Was that after you had him served with the protective order in October?
Yes.
Then he, I don't think that was the right thing to do, to knock down the door. It also wasn't the right thing to do to file a false police report, which you did. So you do not get your door fixed as a lesson not to abuse the court system.
All parties in the matter of Francis versus Faulkner, step forward, please.
Office manager Jennifer Francis is suing her ex-boyfriend, mechanic John Faulkner, for his share of a cruise to Jamaica. John says the vacation was supposed to be her treat.
Mr. Faulkner, you and the defendant were dating, and according to her, you went on a cruise together. You were supposed to pay her back for your half of the cruise. You came back from the cruise. You gave her back some money. Your half was $1,000. You gave her back $250, and then stopped making the payments and stopped dating. Mr. Faulkner, you tell me that this cruise was a gift?
Yes.
So you tell me about it. When were we supposed to take the cruise? Where did you go? Tell me about the gift.
Took the cruise on, it was September 21st to the 30th, and what we were supposed to do was we ended up going to Jamaica, and what we did was on the cruise was that I would pay for the hotel rooms, for the 2 nights at the hotel rooms. And
What do you mean, before and after?
Before and after.
Okay, and that was $250?
Yes.
Show me the bill for that.
I paid her in cash. It was all put on her credit card.
You mean the hotel was put on her credit card?
Everything was put on her credit card.
Okay. How much were the hotel rooms, the 2 nights in the hotel room? Do you have that on your bill?
Yeah, I do, Your Honor.
I'd just like you to tell me what
the
they were.
hotel costs were approximately $101.
Can I see that, please?
Yeah, that's okay.
No, it was $101 for each night.
Yes.
It's $202. And you gave her, sir, $250. Tell me about that.
I knew it was $101 a night, but I didn't know about the taxes and then her credit card interest on her credit card. And I wanted to be fair and pay her for the credit card interest also. Yeah.
What was the cost of the entire cruise?
About $2,000.
Don't give me about.
$2,000.
Show me.
Okay. It's on that statement I gave you, Your Honor.
1148.10.
Yes.
Royal Caribbean Cruise.
Yes, those charges are all stated on my credit
No.
card, which I paid for in advance.
Just a second. 1148 was the cruise for 2 people?
Yes.
Then you had airfare.
Yes.
Okay. $1,860. Now, Mr. Faulkner, why would Miss Francis take you on a cruise and say to you it's a gift?
Because I was ill. I got sick at work, lung problems, and we started dating, and she offered to take me on this cruise because it would clear my lungs. My doctor said that it would be good for my lungs to go on a cruise. She offered to pay for this cruise because I couldn't afford it.
Tell me about it, sir. How long had you been dating her when she was concerned about your lungs?
2 months.
You had your own home?
No.
Where did you live?
I have, at my parents' house, I have like a mother-in-law suite that I stay in.
How old are you?
I'm 42.
Do you have a car?
Yes, I have cars.
Cars? What kind of cars do you have?
I have a Ford Ranger, and I just sold my RX-7 that I had.
What kind of work do you do?
I'm a mechanic for natural gas.
You work for a company?
Yes, I do.
How long have you worked for the same company?
2 years.
Before that?
I was a roofer for 24 years.
What happened to your lungs? Did they get better after the cruise?
They're getting better. I'm still under medical care for them.
What's wrong with your lungs?
I was exposed to pesticides.
Are you back working now?
Yes, I am.
Did you collect any kind of disability?
Yes, I did.
How much were you collecting in disability payments?
How much was I collecting?
That was my question.
$400 every 2 weeks.
And you were living at your mother's house?
Yes.
So yeah, limited expenses. And do you have a lawsuit pending now?
Yes.
With regard to these pesticides that you ingested?
Yes.
And how much are you suing the company for?
That's up to my attorney. I don't know.
You never discussed that with them?
No.
A lot, right?
Probably.
Now, so you felt better after you came back from the cruise.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
And when did you go back to work?
On October 1st, day after.
Really? So was you like your last hurrah, Mr. Faulkner, before you went back to work, right?
Yeah, I was only off for 2 weeks before.
So you worked continuously?
Off and on. I was working, yeah. I was trying
Really?
to go,
So why didn't you have any money to go on this cruise?
Because I couldn't afford this cruise, Your Honor. I have a daughter. And I'm a single parent.
She lives with you?
Yes.
Really? In this little suite that you live at in your mother's house?
She has her own room inside my mother's house.
So who takes care of her when you work?
My mother?
You pay your mother for taking care of her?
No, I don't.
Sounds to me, Mr. Faulkner, like you can afford your own vacations, sir. Now I'm ready to hear from you, Miss Francis. You want to tell me how it came about that Mr. Faulkner joined you on this trip?
Yes, I would, Your Honor. I met John on August 3rd, and in September, I wanted to take a vacation. I just recently separated after 22 years of marriage. And John and I had met, and we really liked each other a lot. And I said, well, why don't we go on the cruise? Because I was going to go alone. And I said, will you pay for your half? And he assured me. What he said earlier is a lie. There was no gift involved.
Tell me about the $250 he gave you.
Well, he gave me $250 cash when we got back. I had loaned him $50 as soon as we got back. And I'm not even showing that here. But he just gave me $250 and said the rest is coming.
He gave you $250?
Yeah.
And said the rest is coming?
Yeah.
Tell me about the cruise. Did you ever leave the ship?
Yeah, we did. We went to Cozumel, Mexico, and we had a great time on the ship.
Okay. All right. Half of the trip less the $250 that he gave you comes to $680. Mr. Faulkner, you're not that inspirational, sir. Pay for your own vacations. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $680. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Now, this is case number 497 on the calendar in the matter of Mason versus Campbell. Parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated. Ladies, have seats, please.
Miss Mason, how old are you?
I'm 39 years old.
You have children?
3.
How old are they?
12, 13, and 15.
What do you do for a living?
I'm an advertising representative.
According to your complaint, in 2001, you loaned Mr. Campbell, who you were dating, $4,000 to put down as a down payment on a truck.
Yes, I did. Mr. Campbell didn't have a vehicle.
Now, listen to me. I didn't ask you a question yet.
I'm sorry.
And the understanding was that if you loaned him the down payment, he would take care of the rest of the payments, and he would pay you back this $4,000. Mr. Campbell's defense to this action is that it was a gift. Is that right, sir?
That's right, ma'am.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So let's do the facts that we know. She put down $4,000 on a truck that was purchased in your name. Is that right?
That's right.
And you took out a car loan for the rest.
That's right.
Now I want you to convince me that this was a gift.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm ready.
Well, I was perfectly happy with the vehicle that I had. She told me that she would like for me to have a nicer truck, and she did not like my truck being parked in front of her house because it was a ranch truck. There was nothing wrong with it. It was an older truck, but I was perfectly fine with it, and it was in good shape. And one day she come home and she said, I got an advance on my check. Let's go look for a truck. So we went and looked for a truck.
Okay, so she said to you, I want to go look for a truck. And what did you say to her?
I said, that's fine. So we went and looked. And it just happened to be that day we found one. And I told her it was too much because we already found out the bank would only loan me $15,000.
When did you find that out?
Like 2 or 3 days before, I believe.
Well, what were you even checking into that for, sir, if you didn't want a new truck?
Because she had mentioned it prior to this.
What do you mean she had mentioned it prior to this?
She just wanted me to have a nicer truck. And I said, I don't even think I can get approved for the loan.
You said, I don't even think that I can get approved for the loan, but I'm going to check and find out. And then you called to see.
Yeah, she asked me to go down
there.
So
it wasn't that she just came home one day and said to you, I want to go buy you a truck. This is a discussion that you had had with her previously.
Yes, ma'am.
And that you actually went so far as to call up to find out how much money you could get on a loan.
Yeah, to check my credit, see how bad it was.
Keep going.
And we went and looked that evening, and we found a truck, and I thought it was too much.
Look at me.
I thought it was too much. And so she was good with bargaining with people, and she knew the owner. So we went, and we talked to them. She got the truck down to what she thought was reasonable.
But what did you think? Don't you have a brain?
Yes.
And what did you think?
I thought it was still a little too high.
Is that what you told her?
Yes.
So you said it's too much?
It's too much.
Too much. Can't do it.
That's right.
That's what you said?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
So we signed the paperwork. I signed the paperwork. She got it to where she thought...
Well, why would you sign the paperwork if you said, no, it's too much?
Because she said she was going to put the down on it. I said, are you sure that's what you want to do? And she goes, yes, it's no problem. So that's what we did.
So that was in May of 2001?
2001.
What happened after that? How long did you stay together after that?
We stayed together approximately a year.
You lived together?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that right?
No.
When did you stop living together?
We stopped living together approximately August of 2001.
Does that sound right, sir?
It could be. I'm not very good with dates, Your Honor.
Well, try years.
I'm sorry.
Don't get sorry. Try to get intelligent. May 2001 is when you bought the truck.
Yes.
How much after that did you and the plaintiff separate?
Well, we separated a few times in between. We were off and on, off and on, off and on.
When was the last time that you actually lived together, I assume, in her home?
It had been last year in, I'd say, June.
Is that right?
No, ma'am.
Has he stayed in your house since August of 2001?
He came and stayed at my house in December of 2001 for about 4 days.
Why?
I felt sorry for him because his dad had kicked him out.
Is he a drinker?
No.
Does he use drugs?
No.
Why did his dad kick him out?
They live in an old trailer in
I don't care if they live in an old trailer.
They just always got in fights and arguments.
Right.
And he came and stayed at my house, and I said, I'm sorry, I can't have you here. I was only going to let him stay for a couple days. And
you know, there was some other trouble with him, too, was there not, Miss Mason, that you seemed to allude to in your complaint, people looking for him for money?
Yes.
When was that?
It was in September of 2001. The first case was he owed some money for a horse, and I had given him the money already. It was a horse for my daughter, and I wasn't aware that he hadn't paid the man. And he came in my house hostile, and I said, I'm sorry, I don't know where Jeff is at. and I own a 30-foot camping trailer at Aljo with 2 pop-outs, and the guy did not believe me that it was mine. And so I had to literally pull out my paperwork of the lease and show it to him that it was not Jeff's, because he wanted to put a lien against it. Then we had a girl come to the door. She threatened to tear my vehicle apart and repossess anything that I had, because he told her it was his home, his vehicles, and he felt sorry for me and my children, so he was letting us stay there. And that's how he got people to let him live in their homes.
You mean, and after this, you let him come back to your house in December? Why?
I felt sorry for him.
He already left you holding the bag for $4,000. Why would you feel sorry for him?
I'm just a nice person.
Okay. Who are you?
His ex-girlfriend. Part of this is true and part of it's not true. Jeff and I got together early November of 2001. We were together for approximately a month. Dina came to my home and started calling my home, harassing him, calling him, wanting him back.
Wanting him back or wanting her money?
Wanting him back. She did not
Really?
want money. She never brought up anything about money for the longest time.
Did you speak to her?
Yes, I did.
Well, tell me about the conversation you had with her in November of 2001.
That they were still together. He was living with her. She wanted to know who I was, what was going on between us. And I
Was
said,
he living at your house?
Yes, he was, ma'am.
How much rent was he giving you?
Nothing.
Where did you meet him?
I met him through a friend. We knew quite a few people that were mutual friends.
What do you do for a living?
I'm a cashier.
What does he do for a living?
He's works in the oil fields.
Doing what?
Tearing down the big pumping units.
How often does he do that?
Well, Monday through Friday.
Then what does he do with his money?
He spends it.
On what?
Dirt bikes.
What else?
Clothing, dirt bikes. We eat out.
What else?
That's about it.
Really? I doubt that. I have a good nose for that. Somebody who works construction makes a lot of money, and unless he's supporting a whole gaggle of children, there are only a few things that you get addicted to that prevent you from providing for your own sustenance, like rent and food and clothing and cars and other things. One of them's gambling. I assume he's not a gambler, is that right?
No.
And then there are a couple of other things that you can become addicted to that also take a lot of money.
Ma'am, his dirt bike takes a lot of money.
How much did he pay for the dirt bike?
I don't know how much he paid for the dirt bike. He had it before we got together.
When you say it takes a lot of money, how much is a lot of money?
Well, he's quite frequent with blowing them up, and he spent, I know, of at least $1,000 or more at a time rebuilding it.
What do you mean he blows them up? What does that mean?
He rides them hard and blows the motors up.
Do you have children?
Yes, I do.
How many children do you have?
I have 2.
How old are they?
9 and 4.
Why would you want them around somebody who has a fried brain?
Because I don't believe that he has a fried brain.
He does. He does. He's an amoral person who has a fried brain because he's over 25 years old. He sucks off women, vulnerable women with children who are really trying to, they're living from hand to mouth because it doesn't look to me as if you're a trust fund child, right? So he's sucking off you. He sucked off her. Whenever he gets some money, he blows it on things for himself, and then he doesn't treat those things with any kind of respect. According to you, he'll spend $1,000 on a dirt bike, and he rides it hard and blows up the motor. Well, that's something that somebody might do if they were 15, but not somebody who's in their mid-30s, unless they get women to take care of them and support them. Then he can take all the money he gets from his construction and oil stuff and do with it whatever he wants. Whatever toys he wants to play with, and whatever things that he needs to make him feel good. So if you want to expose your children to a person with that kind of character, that's your problem. That doesn't make you very smart. Do you understand?
Yes.
She wasn't very smart. She got snookered for $4,000. But you're not going to get it back because you got snookered for it. You gave it to him. You didn't loan him this money. He said he wanted it, and you said, I'm going to give it to you. You want to know how I know that? Because if in December of 2001, somebody who had snookered me out of $4,000 and made a fool out of me came to my house and said, I need a place to stay, I would have called the police and said, I have somebody trying to get into my house. Get him away from here.
Ma'am.
That's why. Yes.
On that, as far as that goes, Dina called my cell phone and begged him to come back to her. He was living with me at the time.
Listen, my dear, I've been around a little longer than you have. My eyesight isn't so good. I look at him, and I see nothing that I would wipe my feet on. Do you understand?
Yes.
So the fact that the two of you seem to be enthralled with him, maybe he has some hidden attribute that certainly I don't see, You want him, that's your business. There was no loan. You bought him a truck. Get over it. Your case is dismissed.
Thanks, Doc.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Was hoping he wouldn't have to put it down.
She just thought she had to have a nicer vehicle in front of her house. Well, she had one for a while. Now she don't.
He said he would give it back to me in a couple days. It never happened.
Just got tired of her and the crap.
He got so much self-confidence having the vehicle, he ended up with about 4 girlfriends to go with it.
I'd rather be with my bikes. I'm an adrenaline junkie.
Date someone who has responsibility.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Cleary versus Gray. Step forward, please.
Homemaker Sandy Cleary and her son, 5-year-old Nicholas, are suing their neighbor, accounts receivable clerk Cynthia Gray. Sandy claims Cynthia's dog bit Nicholas in the face.
Miss Cleary, this is your little boy?
Yes.
What's your name?
Nicholas.
Nicholas, why don't you come up here? You're going to sit right up here next to me.
Okay, hold on. There you go.
Nicholas, how old are you?
5.
You know who I am?
It's Judy.
Right. Do you ever watch me on television? You know what it is to be in court? Is this court where you are now? Okay. You know you have to tell the truth when you're in court, right? Okay, Nicholas, you just sit there. I'll be back to you.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Sandy Cleary says neighbor Cynthia Gray's dog bit her 5-year-old son Nicholas in the face.
Show me where you were bitten, Nicholas.
On my nose.
On your nose? Looks okay to me. Is it all better now? It's all better? Good. Miss Cleary, you and the defendant are neighbors, and according to your complaint, one of her dogs bit your son.
Correct.
You want her to pay you $5,000 for whatever. Pain, suffering, a whole bunch of other things. How far away do you live from Miss Gray?
We have an apartment complex that we live in, and there's a home dividing Cindy's home to our apartment complex.
She lives in a private house?
Correct.
With a yard?
Correct.
With a fenced yard?
Yes.
How high is the fence?
It's probably about Nicholas's height, maybe a little bit taller.
And what kind of dogs does she have?
She has a medium-sized dog, mixed breed, and a little Chihuahua-sized dog.
Okay, and her dogs are behind the fence?
Correct.
Always behind the fence, unless she's walking them.
Well, not so correct on that one. Sometimes the dogs are free to either get out with the children also in the neighborhood to go in.
No, the children don't go in, I assume, unless their parents are with them.
Well, Cindy has also a young son, and my children, as well as other neighborhood children, have been able to go into the backyard to see if he's there to play.
Okay.
Versus the front door, actually.
No, but you wouldn't allow your 5-year-old to go there.
No.
Of course not. So, on what date was Nicholas bitten?
September 10th.
And where were you?
I was in the front yard of our apartment complex.
And who was with Nicholas?
His little friend, Lily.
How old is Lily?
She's the same age.
So you have 2 5-year-olds, and you were watching them?
Yes.
Well, tell me what happened.
Well, what happened was Nicholas and Lily both had asked if they could go see Nina and Riley.
Nina and Riley are the 2 dogs?
The 2 dogs, correct.
Yes.
And I said that would be okay, but it didn't look as if anybody was home and to please not go into the fence, as children always do. And he said, okay. And the last I knew, he went to go and see the dogs and then started screaming.
Just a minute. When he and Lily, also age 5, went over to the defendant's home, could you see your son?
No, Your Honor, I could not.
Why not?
Because, I mean, it's very close quarters. Her driveway goes back a little further than where ours does.
Yes.
It happened very quickly. My older son had also gone over there with them.
Where's your older son?
He's not here today. He didn't see what happened as well.
Then I don't need him here. So what you're saying is your son went into her yard?
Yes. The gate has never been a real well-shutting gate.
That's not the issue, whether it's shut well or not. Ms. Cleary, you are the parent.
Correct.
You have a responsibility. You have a 5-year-old child Your 5-year-old child should not be out of your sight when playing out in the street. And if your 5-year-old child comes to you and says, I want to go and play with the 2 dogs, and you believe, as you said, that the defendant is not home or that nobody is home, you get off your duff and you get up and you say, you want to go and see the dogs, I will go with you. Madam, this is your fault. This is not the defendant's fault. She has 2 dogs. Her dogs are behind a fence, well protected. If your son hadn't gone into the yard, your son would not have gotten bitten. And you just told me that the fence doesn't work too well, the gate doesn't work too well. Where are you? I mean, you're out talking to a friend? It's your job to watch him. And if you were negligent in taking care of your own son, don't blame anybody else.
Your Honor, I am not blaming anybody else. It happened so quickly. I instructed him that he could only pet the dogs over the fence, as he always does. That children and him, they always pet the dogs.
So where was he when it happened?
The gate had opened. He went inside.
Then you weren't close enough, Miss Cleary.
I disagree, Your Honor, but...
Well, that's your prerogative to disagree. I'm telling you, it's your fault. It's not her fault. Your son went into her property, and you were outside, and it's your responsibility to take care of your child. It's not her responsibility to take care of your child. And you had the opportunity to do that by taking him by the hand with his friend Lily, walking him over to the fence, saying, I want to go and pet the dogs. Fine. Don't go into the yard, because you don't know what 2 5-year-olds do. 2 5-year-olds don't always have judgment. And this is a situation where you're looking to blame somebody else for your negligence, malfeasance, lack of proper parenting, and you're not going to do that here. Your case is dismissed. You were wonderful, Nicholas. Goodbye.
These are excuses. You may step out.